Hello, this is a video to take you through the Welsh version of the assessment part of the database. So if we go in here, you can see you've got all of these buttons as well as the focus area on the left. Now if I show you initially, if we go down here, you've got the multi-entry methods. So if we go by age range, so here you've got it's starting at 12 to 18, that just means that I've ticked some as met already on this one, but just to show you what to do. If you have these two open alongside each other, and then you can go through, and if there is one that you feel the child is very secure in, that you can mark it as met. It may be the case that if you're having a child come to you at an older age, so they're already, say 20 months old, it may be a case that you need to bring them up to speed by marking the previous ones met, if you feel that they can do it. Once you feel that you've got the child up to date with all the items that they're secure in, if you save it, close it, save it and close it, you will be able to see down here in this button that says all met. Now these are the items that you have ticked to say the child is able to do. If you change your mind and you feel that you've ticked one accidentally, all you need to do is press the delete button and it will just go straight back through to the criteria to be met. If you were to use this part on the left, what this does is enable you to select criteria statements for focus. So to work with this, if you select new, you can have open at the same time this button, which is the next step criteria, the ones that you have not selected. So these are all the ones that are still available for the child to meet. You are able to have this open alongside your one. Now obviously once you click on this one, that's going to go from view, so you can shorten this one so that you have them both alongside each other. Now that's a really useful thing that I find with the database. Now I could say that this one, 12 to 18, with maths, explore the distinction between two objects. So I would go through here to select the age range and then select the area as maths. If you then press this button and find the one that you were wanting, so it's there. Now the way that this works, if I just put in a date, having the next step that's not yet met open at the same time means that you don't have to go through the ones that aren't available to keep getting a blank screen come up because you've selected them all as met. So this just means you can identify the areas that you want to focus and then go straight to them on this part of the database. So if I was to do another one, say with this one it's most of 12 to 18, for a 20-month child is starting to go into this one, so I might do 18 to 24. If we do maths again and then pick that one. Now you'll see from this one, in the foundation phase, it gives you some ideas of what you can be looking for. Now this guidance appears on the bottom of your choice of criteria statement. So this will give you help in what you're actually looking for in order to mark this as the child is developing with this ability. So if for now, you can see at the top I've got 4 there. I'm going to close this for now, bring back this menu. And if I save that, you can go back and forth using these navigation buttons at the bottom. And this will show you the ones that you have got selected. It tells you that you're at the front. So these are the ones that I've got for focus with this child. For each one, you can see clearly the statement that you're looking for, as well as the guidance about what evidence you should be looking for. You'll be able to go through these. If you were to click on this button at the top, the Learning Journal, Next Step Journal, this shows all of the ones that I have currently got in here. So this one shows an interest in simple picture books. So if I go here, I'll just bring that one back up. So you can see here, all it does is bring up, this is a reference guide where you enter them, and this is where you complete the observations. So you can see in here, it brings the child's profile, their age, the criteria that you've selected, and then you've got a space to put any photos, the date that it was set, which is this date here. You can select from a drop-down menu the activity type that you have observed, and if you feel that their child is now secure in it, you can even put date met. Now with this observation comment box, this grows with the amount of text that you want to do. So it may be the case that you want to gather quite a lot of evidence before you mark it as secure. So all you do with this is enter more dates as you're going along. And then again, the next one that you come to. Again, and what you would see, if I just click here to print, and then you will see down here, there's a lot more evidence there that the box grows with you. You will see further down here that you've got the further focus. So again, what you could do is put this as date. So each time you enter an observation comment, if you would feel that there is something that you want to do to encourage further development from what you saw that day, you could put that in the further focus. So again, that could also be dated. So for each criteria statement that you're working on, you're compiling enough evidence to prove that your assessments are accurate in when you're moving a child to secure. Within this box, you can also see from here, you've got the guidance for reference. So what you can do is work your way through, so each one, add in more comments as you go through if you feel that you're making more observations with regards to these different things. Again, you've got the criteria guidance down at the bottom, so as you're going through, you know what to be looking for. Within here, you have got your cover page. So on here, you can use this as a learning journey front cover. I also use it in a daily diary file that goes home with my children. This is quite useful because it informs the parents of the different abbreviations that you might be using. And it also informs them of the different areas within the skills ladders that you're assessing their child against. Once you feel that a child is secure with these, you can tick to archive and you can tick to print. If you tick to print, it's only the ones that you've selected to print will. You can then select a PDF writer and actually print to PDF so that you can email the parents directly if you do not want to print each page. You will also see from this one, if I save and close it, these are able to be viewed within this one. View all next steps with focus. So these are all of these from this part and all of the ones from this one, just in a more compact view. So you can see the different ones in the different age ranges quite nicely. You can see the bold text shows you what the criteria statement is, and then you can also see what observations you have made on them already. You can also see which ones you haven't got observations against, so it might be that this is the kind of form that you would use to inform your planning, because it can show you the ones that are still outstanding, the ones that you still have to focus on to gather more evidence, and the ones that you haven't yet begun to collate any evidence towards. This view can also be with all children, which means it's more specific to your whole setting, because it goes from here. You can see that it's Billy, so all of these observations for Billy, and it will then go down to the different children that are in your setting and include the different areas that you've selected for a focus with them as well. If you feel a child is now secure in one of them, if we click on this one, what you do is click here to archive. If you then click save, you will see that that one disappears from this section. in here for the archived learning journals, you will see that those ones are now in here. It's there. So these are the ones that you have gathered enough evidence to feel that the child is now secure in doing this, and you've now marked it as met. This information for these learning journeys, because they have photos in, will be sent here. For those ones that are just ticked as met, they will be in this button. To print off the list of these 5 criteria that you have selected, now that will show you in here. So this is another form that you could potentially print off and send to your parents to include them in the assessment process that you're doing. So it may be the case that these are the ones that you're focusing on for your child, and it may be the case that you can send that home to the parents and they can contribute in helping them develop with these areas at home. What you have also got is the criteria met at home. Now this is a really useful one for linking with parents. If you have a look at your criteria next step not yet selected, so this shows you what the child hasn't yet met. If you also have open the next steps that you have for focus, you can see that there's 2 within the 6 to 12 months, you've got 1 within the 12 to 18 months, and you're beginning to go into the 18 to 24, and in here it's 12 to 18. So it may be the case you are well within the process of moving the child through. So it may be useful to have some more information on these ones in 18 to 24 to see what they're doing at home. If I go back into this menu, therefore if you click on this button and select the age range 18 to 24, it will bring up all of the criteria for that age range. Now within this feature, you've got the age range shown here, you've got the area as well as the subcategory for some, and then you've got the criteria statement. The parents will therefore be able to tick whether or not they see this at home, and if they do, they'll be able to write a comment of what they actually see the child do. If a child is seen doing this at home, then you can perhaps plan for opportunities where you may be more likely to see it in your setting, and therefore build up your evidence of observations to mark those as met. This is a really good way to link with the parents as well as sharing the assessment process with the parents. It keeps them up to date with where the child's at, as well as ways that they can help develop the child at home and work with you. This section of the pink menu are the additional features. So if I show you this one, this is a way that you can produce observations that may not link directly with the statements. It also might be that it's not within the certain areas that are just those listed on the skills ladder. These ones have the flexibility that they can change. So with this one, you've got the area. You would also be able to add in additional options in the drop-down menu. If you were to right-click, go down to Edit List Items, you'll then have the box of options. So you could also put in there Expressive Arts and Design. And then when you go in here, you've got an additional one. You can write the observations, as well as potential next steps, as well as inserting photos. And this one again will grow, so the more observations that you do, the more that become available for you to complete. So this can be a working tool to go through the terms that you're working with the child. At the bottom, it's got the learning development summary, so you can refer back to the skill ladders and the tracking that you're doing, as well as additional comments for how the child is doing. You've also got a space for the parent comments, so again it links in with working with parents and having their input in it as well. These stack on top of each other, so each time that you want to do a new one, you can just put it in here. You've got all about forms, which is gathering information on the child. So sometimes it's a case that when you have the initial meetings with the parents and you'd like to know a bit more about them, that this is a form that you could fill in. It also means that when your child starts with you, you've got all this relevant information to help you whilst the child is settling in with you. This one is also good sometimes that if the child is away from you for a period such as a maternity leave or summer holidays, that when they come back a lot might have changed, such as their sleep times, their nap times, and the other behaviours. So this is quite a good one to keep updated with how they're working at home. When you've been doing the tracking for your child, where you've been working on creating evidence and selecting criteria as met, you have also been ticking on the quick entry methods to update a child. You may need an overview, and a really good one for this is the attainment levels. So if I show you this one, so you've got here all of the age ranges, all of the areas, and it shows you whether the child is secure, developing or emerging. Now this is a really useful feature to collate all of the information that you've been doing from your observations and your tracking, to bring it all together in one place automatically to show you a big picture of where the child is and where they're progressing. So you can see that this child has met all of the ones within 6 to 12. It looks like there's 2 out there, but out of all of them, this child is deemed to be secure. You can therefore, as we go down, you can see that there's still 1 developing within mathematics, and then further down within language and maths, within 18 to 24. The other ones they're starting to emerge into, which shows the blue. You would be able to use this feature. Again, being able to have features open alongside each other is really useful, because again you can use them to inform other features, such as your reports. It might be the case that you do reports end of term or termly, and so having these 2 available alongside each other, so that this form, the attainment levels, can inform you of which one age range to select within here, or whether to put the child is working within or whether it's met. Again, you can go through all the way down there. It's got all of the areas. The ones highlighted are for the compact profile, but all of them are available for you to select the full one. In this feature, it also has information boxes that grow with size, so the more you text, the more the box will grow to show. Other forms that are in this one are the progression grids. So this is a good one to give you the overview, again, of each specific one. So again, you can use this one in conjunction with the attainment levels to inform which ones you're going to be selecting. Now this has got the 4 areas of the foundation phase profile. If I click the first one to show you, it may be the case on here that within language literacy and communication skills, the 6 to 12 one, but otherwise secure. So it would be that you go and mark these ones as met. And then if you move down to the 12 to 18 one, you'll also see again that within maths, it's developing. So there are a couple that haven't been met yet. You can then go to your next area and again work your way through, and gradually it will be able to show up and then eventually it will be able to show up a really good overview of the child's progress and where they're currently working. Be able to show you their strengths and their weaknesses and where you would need to perhaps focus more within your planning and activities that you're offering the child in order to develop certain areas a bit better. Once you have done this, if you go to print, it will show you all 4 areas. Obviously in this example I've only done 2, but you can then scroll down to see the outcome of all of them and to highlight the different areas that you need. These are 2 that I didn't do, but you can see that all the criteria are in there. The facility to do the overview for each one very simply just by entering a number 1 and pressing return, and it will colour the button. And when you use it in conjunction with items such as this, it really does make it easier. Another overview that you've got is this one, that again it's automatic, and this just shows you, it's a nice one to give to the parents because it shows you quite nicely all of the different areas, where the child is within the different age ranges, and the key up at the top, secure to emerging. With this one, it also shows you the ones that are not met. So it shows you here quite obviously that the ones that they're emerging or developing in, the ones that they need more time with, and these different areas, that the total criteria that they've got, what they've met, and how many they are remaining.